Hello and welcome to Politics here on France 24. And also welcome to the UDI, the Union of Democrats and Independents, the new centrist political party launched last weekend. It is headed by a popular former minister in the name of Jean-Louis Borloo, and the party presents itself as a potential ally of the Conservative Party, the UMP, but it does not hide its ambition to actually become the leading opposition party. So is this a fantasy, or can the center really take center stage? So with me to discuss the issue is one of the co-founders of the UDI, Alain Dolium. Welcome.
Welcome.
Also on the set is Charles Becbédé, who is one of the national secretaries of the Conservative Party, the UMP. Welcome to you too.
Good afternoon.
And last but not least, Mathieu Douaret, who is with the Ipsos polling Institute. So last weekend, Jean-Louis Borloo finally launched the big party he's been talking about, and to a lot of success, some people say, and there's been people waiting for years to see if the center could really emerge. Alain Dolium, you joined that initiative. Why do you think this time it will be different?
I think this. Thank you so much for your invitation. I'm the national delegate for all the issues concerning the democracy and technology to set up a new democracy in the political environment. Actually, I think the context is really different because now we are in context where the situation of the country in terms of social and economics is so bad, and we try to found an alternative project. And I think this new political movement is able to design and to put in place this new approach for the country.
François Bayrou, who was a candidate in the election 2007, had some success. 2012 not really, had allied himself with the socialist winner in the end, François Hollande, and this is why I guess you've decided that you're going to change.
Yes, because when you analyze the political landscape in France, of course, like a lot of large democracy in Europe and in Western area, it's not possible to to cancel just with one pen the bipolarization of the political context. And in France, we have this type of context, and it's necessary for the political movement like us to propose a right positioning, like center or right.
Charles Becbédé, is this good news for the ruling party, the UMP? There's been some criticism because some members of the UMP decided to join the new party. Is this a rival?
I think it's good news because first, it's never easy to organize such a federation of small parties. There were the Parti Radical, Gauche Moderne, some people from Modem, also people from Nouveau Centre. So
and they love to fight between them.
They used to love to fight. So those parties were useful. There are some talented people again that express positions that can be useful for the democracy. But now together, I think they can be more pragmatic and be more efficient. So I think it's good news. It's good news also because it will be a center-right party. It's clear. Jean-Louis Borloo has clearly stated that he refused the strategy to hesitate between left and right. It will be clearly a little bit like FDP in Germany along with CDU. So we have UMP, which is the leading governmental party. Well, it's not at the government at the moment, of course, but it aims is to be on the government. So we have UMP that federates all sensitivities, all currents in the center and the right. And then there is a small party, which is UDI, which can be organized coalition with UMP in order to win future elections. So I think it's good news.
You see them as a coalition partner, not as a rival, because some people are saying this is happening because the UMP is going too far towards the right.
No, absolutely not. UMP is the largest party again. It gathers a lot of, tendencies, trends, currents in the right, in the center. You have Gaullists, you have free market supporters, you have etatists, but they all share some values like freedom, free market, responsibility, authority, and solidarity, true solidarity, i.e. solidarity that is financed, not made with debt. And so that leading party is there. It's the UMP. You know that there is 100 members of the parliament that are describing themselves as member of the center or the center right, and UDI is only 60 such members of parliament. So it's clearly the major force. But in certain elections, it would be very good news to have a coalition with UDI.
Mathieu Doiret, we see that there are some bridges that are already being built, or that both parties hope to build. Do you think the story might be different? That Jean-Louis Borloo, who is clearly the head and was able to federate those bickering centers, do you think that this is what he has in mind, or do you think he has more ambitions than that?
I think he's got a little more ambition. Yeah, I think he's obviously in a position now to speak louder, because the main issue he had to face initially was the bickering inside the right of center family between him and new center party of former defense minister Hervé Morin, and also the problem of locating François Bayrou, of course. So I think he has now solved both issues, the issues he was facing before the presidential election, and which probably deterred him from running, and now is in a position to define his project. And I think the parts of his speech point to an ambition that would go further, that would be to leverage the dissent inside the current UMP between the right wing and the left, more centrist wing, let's say, in particular about national identity, the relationship with the National Front, the stance toward immigration, etc. And I think his ambition would be to end first of the right at a presidential election, because he's got plenty of time to prepare that. We are far enough from election day now, and it was the right moment, probably, in his view, to do that.
Is this your goal? Because do you also agree that you see that the UMP is not a monolithic bloc anymore, and that there are tensions, and there are some people, there are a few examples, Chantal Joanneau, for instance, joined your party. There are people who could be potential targets for you, and that you could change the equation.
Yes, that's true. Actually, we want to lead a new way to do politics, because when you analyze one of the large part of the UMP, the national conservatism is more and more important, and I think it's really important for our country to put in place a strong new political offer, more based on social and on the right balance between social and economics, and not just only a speech based on the national conservatism due to the powerful of the National Front, actually. And we can analyze the difficulty for the UMP to find the right position in front of the National Front managed by Marine Le Pen.
Okay, just before you get to answer, here is what the Secretary General of the UMP party, Jean-François Copé, who's hoping to become its president. The election should be decided very soon, November 18th. He's not the favorite, though. This is what he had to say, reminding us that there was such a precedent where in France there was a right and a center right, and it did not always go down very well.
The issue is very simple. For me, the worst of the worst for our political family is the return to the RPR-UDF years, those fratricidal quarrels between talented men and women that ended up giving us 14 years of François Mitterrand. So what I wish from the bottom of my heart and what I will work as hard as I can for is that once the internal UMP elections are done with, we all stand together, especially if I'm elected on November 18th, so that we don't forget that it is integral to the UMP that all different trends are represented.
He's less optimistic than you are, because he reminds us that the RPR, which was the Gaullist party, had some tough fights with what is known as the UDF in the 1970s, 80s. It didn't always work very well.
He's right to remind that this is the threat. However, as I explained before, we all believe, and I was meeting with Jean-François Copé earlier this morning, that the UMP party, it was founded in 2002 in order precisely to avoid those divisions within the center-right, and in order to be always above the Front National, because that's the danger, especially in the municipal election, where it will be possible for a party to maintain in the second round if it gets more than 10% of expressed votes. So it's very important that UDI and UMP go together in the battle, united.
In 2014.
In 2014, March 2014, which is in less than 18 months. So again, Jean-François Copé is right to remind these bad years where it's true, the Socialist Party had won many elections because we were divided.
But the fact that the UMP was supposed to be the answer to those problems, and the fact that a new party is emerging, means that the UMP is not answering all those questions.
No, not at all. Again, 106 members of the parliament are qualifying themselves as center-right sensitivity, 60 in UDI. So the UMP party is of course, but I doubt you will get much more than 2 or 3 additional members of the parliament. So we have this UMP party with members of the parliament that identify themselves as more to the right. Then a lot are identifying themselves as center-right, and all together we are this major formation like CDU is in Great Britain. And we have this potential ally, which with UDI, and that's, I think, is very good news. And we welcome the creation of UDI.
But the creation of UDI is a result of the fact that the UMP is not giving enough to the centrists.
The creation of UDI is not just only based on the situation of the current situation of UMP. Of course, is more based on the deep analysis of the situation of our country, actually, because we are very optimistic about the potential of this country, but in the same time, we are able to understand the problem of the people in terms of social and economic skills, and probably the current government is not able to find the right solution, for example, for the new economic development based on the innovation or new sources of growth. And this party, I mean UDI, has got a lot of competent people about this type of issues for France.
How do you think they would fare? It's difficult to say now. You have to read a crystal ball. But compared to this past that we talked about, why would
I think they've got a pool of available voters, because there are always been a pool of available voters for people who would claim the history of centrism as their inheritance. I mean, there is a tradition that clearly needs to be embodied in a political party. It has, in fact, got 2 roots in history. The Radical Party and the Christian Democratic movements. They had several names in the past. Both decided to merge in 1977 to create the UDF at that time. And in fact, they are reuniting once again this year. So Why did they unite? Both times because they wanted to oppose two tendencies. First, inner bickering, the opposition of subtle differences inside this family between Christian and non-Christians, etc. And of course, they wanted to oppose the hegemony of a single conservative party, which has historically been the Gaullist party in France since 1958. And so they want to oppose the idea that all sensitivities, as you said, should be merged into a single party because it has not been so efficient as initially intended. Because, for example, in 2002, the creation of a single conservative party, the UMP, was efficient to get Jacques Chirac re-elected, but was not enough to guarantee victories in the subsequent local elections. And once again, in 2007, it appeared that there still was a strong independent centrist tradition embodied in Bayrou at that time. And this year, once again, 9% of the voters voted Bayrou. So there is still a huge strategic pool of voters that obviously the conservatives want to ally with. They need to, but that they will never be able to absorb.
Okay, very, very quickly. So you obviously think the UDI is here to stay and to grow.
Yeah, and UDI is a sustainable party, and I'm really sure that these new political offers can be aligned with the main needs of the French people.
Do you think they are here to stay?
No, they are here to stay. Clearly, there is a space. Some people within the center are within the UMP, some not. And so it's good that UDI exists, clearly. Problem is critical mass. You will never have the critical mass as UMP and as the Socialist Party.
For this moment.
And that's the problem with the Fifth Republic. And the second issue is that you will need one day a candidate for presidency, and I don't know if you have.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
No, we have to finish it here. We have to finish
I'm not
it
sure the problem of the presidency. It's the current problem, actually. I mean,
That's Fifth Republic.
Okay, we'll debate presidential elections. It's 5 years away. We still have time. Thank you to all of you, and thank you for watching Politics here on France 24.